Do you remember Malia Bouattia, the president of the NUS, the National Union of Students in Britain? She's highly regressive and obviously an Islamist. She doesn't call herself an Islamist, but you may as well, because she's literally promoting their agenda. I don't know how else to say it. Statement on the Westminster attack. My thoughts and prayers are with all the victims of the horrific attack in Westminster, as well as their loved ones. Among those injured are 4 students from Edge Hill University and a group of students from France. As the president of the NUS, I would like to send them our movement's love and solidarity. Our movement. Fuck your movement, Malia. You're meant to be the National Union of Students. You're not meant to be a social movement. You're meant to be helping students. But they get 1 sentence from you. I would like to send them our movement's love and solidarity. I'd also like to extend our solidarity to the many Muslims and migrants who at this time will be especially fearful of racism and abuse. Maybe you should leave. Honestly, I wouldn't stay in a country that just because of one terrorist attack was going to start racially abusing me. I would leave, personally, me as an individual. If I was living in a country that was non-white and a white person blew something up and then loads of people started abusing me, I'd leave. And I'd do it for my own good. I'd be like, well, I just don't want to live in a country that's full of racists. I wouldn't sit there and think, right, I now need to preach at these people until they change their ways. I'd decide, no, I'm the thing that doesn't fit in here. That's what I personally would do. You do whatever you like. But I'm just saying that's my thoughts on the issue, what I would think I would have to do as an individual to secure my own safety. Either you think that you deserve to change the entire world into your particular perspective, or you don't feel afraid. You're not afraid of racism and abuse. You know for a fact you are in one of the most anti-racist countries in the world. British people pride themselves on their tolerance, understanding, and lack of prejudice. This is one of the things that they are most proud of. And you will play on that by saying, oh, they're fearful of racism. Yes, there's so much racism. It's in double digits now. All of these racist hate crimes. It's terrible. It's almost not existent in this country, which I think is about as good as it's going to get, especially if we keep seeing the things that we see and the sort of people who defend these things. I mean, look at this. We must stand firm against all attempts to stoke up Islamophobia or intolerance against any migrants of any nationality, especially at a time of increased hate crimes against many communities across society. How is that useful? How is that a good thing to do? Why are you even bringing other Muslims into this? I don't know why you'd even talk about them. What have they got to do with this guy? This guy seems to have been a fucking loon. He seems to have been using Islam as a way to express his violent tendencies. That's really nothing to do with the Muslims who are not political, is it? And who have got no interest in being political. In fact, hold completely separate political beliefs to Islam and Islamism. And again, I stress, I really think that somehow we're going to have to explain to them that we are a secular country and we do not tolerate Islamism in the same way we don't tolerate fascism and communism. Similarly, we must continue to oppose attempts to utilise events to undermine civil liberties, extend surveillance policies such as prevent, or to tighten border controls. Well, I don't think border controls have got anything to do with civil liberties, especially, they can't. People outside of the country don't have civil liberties within our country. It's way beyond the remit of our nation. We are completely in control of our borders and should be. That's what should be the case. I'm sorry about the surveillance policies, but I think, 13 terror attacks last year that were foiled by the Met and the anti-terror units? I'm sorry. That could have been 13 terrorist attacks in Britain. 13. That's more than 1 a month. I'm sorry that these people have to be surveilled. I really am. I'm honestly on your side with that. I'm completely against government surveillance, especially where it's not warranted. 13 terror attacks were foiled, and obviously the one that got through. What are we going to do? What's going to be done about them? I don't want you to surveil these people. Why not, Malia? I'm sorry. Why not? I know it sucks. I don't like it. But do you not think it kind of has to be done? I know it's shit. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit. But there are people dying in the streets. I mean, they are actually being killed by Islamist terrorists. And it's not just this country. It's France. It's the Netherlands. It's Germany. It's a country with a large percentage of Muslim migrants. A large number. Because a small percentage of that number will become political radicals and think that they have to kill the infidel, kill the kafir, for the greater good of the ummah. And it's like, okay, well, what? What are we going to do? What's the plan? What can be done? Do you think we should just leave it? This will all blow over, says Malia Bouattia. Last night, thousands came together in London for a vigil. Let us take the time to remember the victims and all the victims of war and terror around the world. You have no fucking idea, do you? You have no idea. You don't care either. It's an easy platitude. Well, let's just remember all the victims of terrorism. Dude, there have been way too many. Way too many. Something like 28,000 in 2015. 28,000 dead people from Islamist terrorism. I mean, don't get me wrong, stretched over the space of a year, and it was around the globe. Because Muslim terrorism happens fucking everywhere. But it's a religion of peace, isn't it, Malia? It's not something we need to worry about. Let us recommit ourselves to building a movement that stands firm against racism and xenophobia, is vigilant against attempts to divide us, and fights to build a more just and safer world. Okay. We're having a real problem with Islamism. We're having a real problem with Muslims, a certain percentage of Muslims, the Islamists who want to install Sharia law and Islamic control of Britain and the rest of Europe. I mean, these people literally exist. They're not all of them, not even the most of them. But enough of them, this is a consistent problem. So what do we do? Do we have some sort of shibboleth for these people? Should we have some sort of way of determining them from the other Muslims? I mean, what do you want to do? What's your plan? What's your solution to this? Or is your solution to just do nothing? And I think it's worth reminding you that the longer that you do nothing, the more people go to the right. The more people go to these extremists that you hate so much on the right, the people who are demanding some severe action, the more people support them, the closer they get to achieving their goal. And it's the complete opposite of your goal, I fucking promise you. You have to stop pretending that people being racist to someone is more important than people dying. It's not. Yes, I don't like racism either. No, I would not absolutely do it, and I would call it out if I saw it. But people's lives are not less important than preventing racism.